A big night in Booville. It's a big night in Booville, cheered Wilson as he hopped out of bed. And it was Halloween, but more importantly, much more importantly, it was Wilson's birthday. Wilson straightened his wraps, then in the wee hours of the morning, he hurried over to Frank Jr.'s house. Frank Jr. was his best friend. No one called him Jr. No one called him Frank. He was Frank Jr. No one questioned Frank Jr. He was the smartest kid in Booville. Hey, tonight's a big night, explained Wilson when Frank Jr. opened the door. Indeed, said Frank Jr., it's a night of shenanigans and sweet confections. And no, I mean, started Wilson. He means tricks and treats. Frank Jr.'s sister came waltzing up to the door. I don't know why you use such big words, Frankie. It's Frank Jr., if you please, her brother stated. Oh, Frank Jr., Mr. Smarty. Francine smirked. Well, hello, Wilson. You look frighteningly handsome for Booville's big night. Wilson stood up straight. Why, thank you. I didn't know you knew this was a big night. Big night. It's the best night, explained Francine. It's the most glorious, spookiest, screamiest night of all of the year. Well, I don't know about that, said Wilson, blushing the way through his wrappings. After all, said Francine, smoothing her hair, it's Halloween, and I'll have the best costume, of course. Of course, Halloween, Wilson said droopily. That's why it's a big night. Wilson stayed and played creepy crawly cards and rolled the crunkles with Frank Jr. all day. And not once did Frank Jr. say happy birthday to Wilson. It was definitely time to go. Say, what are you going to do tonight, Frank Jr.? asked Wilson. I've decided to don the look of a mad scientist. That way I can wear my new wig and I created out of polymer fibers. It glows in the dark. What are you going as? I don't know, sighed Wilson. Maybe a ghost? Maybe a fish? I better go home and think about it. I'll see ya. Goodbye. I'll see you tonight for Halloweening, called Frank Jr. I'll see you too, Wilson. I'll be with Frankie, saying his out Francine. It's Frank Jr., her brother grumbled. Wilson kicked a bone down the sidewalk. My best friend forgot this is my birthday. How could anyone forget that my birthday is Halloween? Every year my friends throw me a party, then here it is at the very day and the big day and no party plans. Hey, Wilson. Wilson looked up. Here comes Denton at full speed on his super speedy racing bike. To Wilson's honor, Denton was coming straight at him. He closed his eyes. Screech! Wilson peeped out. There was Denton smiling at him. Hey, bandaged brain, said Denton. You know it's a big night in Booville. Wilson perked up. Yes, it is. Yeah, man, it's the night my dad lets me stay up till 2 o'clock and feed the bats. Oh, yeah, sighed Wilson. That sure is a big night. He watched Denton zipping off down the sidewalk. Bigger than my night will be, he said to himself. Wilson sat down on the grass and wiped his eyes. Then he did what he always did when he needed to think. He wrote himself some notes. He felt lonely and forgotten. Wasn't there anyone who remembered that this was his birthday? Rattle, click. Rattle, click. Just then, Katie skipped over and popped down next to Wilson. "Why, Wilson," she said slowly. "What are you doing here? It's going to be a big night in Booville, you know." "Yes, I know," said Wilson quietly. "It's Halloween, a night of tricks and treats and candy and no-owls and goals and catching bats." Kate giggled. "Oh, silly, it's much bigger than that. I know a great secret. Come on and I'll show you. You won't want to miss out on this." Wilson got up and followed Kate. "I really just want to go home," he told her. "Well, okay, I'll walk you home, and then I'll show you the secret." Well, when Wilson walked slowly behind Katie. "Who cares about her silly old secret," he thought. "Even she forgot my birthday, and she's the nicest kid in Booville." As Wilson came up to his own front door, it slowly creaked open. And out popped a mad scientist, a movie star, and a wolfman. "Surprise, happy birthday." "That's the secret?" giggled Katie. "Kate, we're throwing you the party at your house this year." "Yeah, what took you so long?" said Denton. "Open your presents and cut the cake. Then we can all go out trick-or-treating and scare the neighborhood. Happy birthday." It was a wonderful party with streamers and cake and punch and presents to unwrap. Wow, it was a great big night in Booville.